Welcome everyone to a chat with this month's Amber Grant winner. Today we're speaking with Sophronia McKenzie, who's the founder of visuEats Imagery Solutions, and she's our Amber Grant winner for November 2021. I'm Marsha Layton Turner, and I'm a Women's Net Advisory Board member. So Sophronia, let's start from the beginning and have you tell us about your business. Why did you start it? Where'd you get the idea? Things like that.
First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity and selecting me as a finalist, the visuEats team as a finalist. I'm really, really, really grateful. visuEats, in the simplest term, is a photo menu app, right? I love food. Sometimes people, when they see me, are like, really, you love food because you're just like so small? But I really do. I love food. Like, I literally never leave home without my tummy, Marsha. And and I love food. I love to cook everything. And when I go out to eat, and I like trying new restaurants, right? And I don't know about you, but sometimes you go to a new restaurant, sometimes it's expensive and you're gonna pay $50 for a meal. You wanna know what it is that you're gonna get, right? And we are in a digital era right now, so we like seeing things and we like eating with our eyes. And I just remember fussing with my best friend and I was like, Jessica, how do I know what this is?
Yeah.
And I kept like annoying her every time we would go out, and then she just turned and looked at me and she's like, you work in technology, why don't you build a solution to solve that problem? And light bulb just went off and I was like, you know what, you're right. And then ever since then, I met with a really good friend of mine by the name of Crystal Curry, and I sat with her and I told her my vision, and she was like, I get it. It makes sense. When we go out to eat, we should be able to see a picture of the menu item. And so she designed the concept for me and everything, and then we got visuEats. So it's literally collating different restaurants' menu items on the platform. So like here, we have a restaurant on the app now called Cellar 8 in Jamaica. And they have their categories like their appetizer, main course, things like that. And you can literally click it and you see images of the menu items. Wonderful. So literally that's just where the idea came from. Love going out to eat. My best friend just said, build it, and I did. And here we are. I got with a couple developers and designers, and now we have an app on the App or Google Play Store called visuEats, where you can download and see a picture of a menu item for a particular restaurant.
I think that's so timely because we're seeing so many more restaurants using QR codes. Like they don't even give you a menu. You go and you click it, but then, as you said, you have a text list of what's available. You're like, And
it's funny that you say that, because the idea of visuEats came about before COVID. It came about in 2018, and then to even have the conversation with restaurants to say, hey, I want to make your menu digital, it would have been a tough sell. And then here comes COVID, right? And now they have the QR code. So I'm like, okay, I'll make it simple for you. Scan the QR code and you get pictures instead of text. So awesome. Everything happens for a reason.
You were in the right place at the right time. That's awesome. Yeah, with a great idea.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, so how did you hear about the Amber Grant, and what made you decide to apply?
So it's funny. In January 2021, because as I told you before, the idea of visuEats came about in 2018, and I've been funding visuEats from my 9-to-5 salary, like literally, and it cost me over $1,000 a month. Yeah, just me, no investors, no partners, just like literally all the funding came from me. And then in January 2021 of this year, I decided that I said, visuEats, because I talked to her. I was like, visuEats, you need to fund yourself. And you're going to start funding yourself August 2021. Like literally, you're my baby and you need to spread your wings. And in August 2021, I started a crowdfunding campaign. It ended November 1st. And luckily, and being blessed, we were able to raise, over $3,000. And with that crowdfunding, it lasted for 3 months. And then no more money. I was like, all right, visuEats, what are we gonna do? Because you need to fund yourself. And then I was like, okay, one of my friends told me about grants, and I was like, grants, I've never won money before. I've never gotten freebie. Crowdfunding was really close friends and family and people just contributing, but grants, okay. So I Googled, I was like, I'm here in the US, let's see what opportunities are there. And I Googled, and Amber Grant was one of the first grant opportunities that popped up. And I went on the website, I saw the mission, I saw how it even came about. It's unfortunate how it came about, right?
Yeah.
But then I decided to apply and prayed over my application. And then I went ahead and just submitted. So through Google, and just telling visuEats that it's just time for her to fund herself. I know she's still a startup, but some way, somehow, I need her to start funding herself.
And you got the answer. She said, okay. Okay,
I'm still in shock. It's still surreal for me that, wow, it's real. I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked.
It's a great idea. So
thank you, Marshall. Thank you.
So now that you've won $10,000, how are you going to invest that into her? You know, she wants to know.
So the first thing for me, 10% has to go to tithing. So I have to tithe 10% of just giving back and showing my gratitude. And then the remaining $9,000, $4,500 is going to go straight into development. Because even though she's a photo menu app, there's a lot of cool features and functionalities that we want to build out, and which I can't share those ideas just yet, but they're super cool, like ahead of its time functionalities that we want to put into the app, because our goal is to redefine the dining experience, right? So yeah, the taste of the food is just going to be complementary, but our goal is really to redefine the dining experience. So 4,500 is going to go straight into development and build out at least 2 additional features that we want for the app. And then the other half is going to go into our 6-month marketing campaign that we're launching in 2022. So it's timely in terms of the funding that we're getting. It's awesome. Really going to go a far way, because as much as I didn't have the funding, I still hired someone to do a marketing campaign for us, a marketing campaign plan. I still did that for 2022. I got the budget for it, and I was like, I don't know how it's going to be funded, but it's going to be funded. And then here, Amber Grant gave me the opportunity to at least start the campaign. So I'm awesome. Really, really grateful.
Wow. Again, timing. You're prepared. All you needed was some money. That's great. Exciting. Yep. Yeah. So you mentioned that some of the money is going to go into developing new features, like thinking a little bit long-term. What are some of the future plans for the business?
So we do have a 2022 roadmap, right? So our first year, 2 features which I can tell because they're not like top secret and it's a must-have. We want to implement the e-commerce functionality of the app. So when you do pull up the menu item, you could order through the app. And we also want to integrate the delivery features. So we want to integrate with Uber Eats, Grubhub, all the delivery components. Yeah. So we want to be able to have you order through the app, or you can order through the app while at the restaurant. So we integrate with the restaurant's point of sale system. So you're sitting at your table, you see your menu item, you don't have to wait for the waiter to come over. You could order through the app and it sends it to the kitchen. We want to integrate that. And then we also want, if you're at home and you see a nice shrimp scampi and you really like how it looks from a particular restaurant, you could order it and it gets delivered to you. So those are the 2 features we want to build out for our 2022 roadmap.
Being able to order from a table reduces the wait staff requirements that a small business might need. Like that could really just be such a big help for smaller restaurants.
For sure. For sure. And sometimes too, when you go to a restaurant and the waiter comes over and they explain the menu item, sometimes they do a good job explaining it, but I know you want to see what it looks like. Because I know for sure when you go to a restaurant, you see a plate of food passing, you're looking at it like, what is that? No, you can't just look at it from the visuEats app. You see the image. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of those. What's she having? Yeah,
exactly. I want that.
I don't know what it is, but that's what I want. Yeah,
exactly. We get it. We totally get it. Thank you, Marsha. Thank you.
Well, so you've made really great progress in a short amount of time. Do you have any advice for aspiring women entrepreneurs? You know, anything that you've learned along the way that you think might be really helpful as they're kind of beginning their journey?
I actually do. I've seen memes on Instagram or on social media sometimes where it would say, move in silence, or don't tell anybody what you're doing. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I think it's important for you to have a support system. And if somebody's listening to this and they would say, well, my family doesn't support me, or I don't have friends that support me, then go where you're supported and where you're celebrated, right? Even if it's just that one person. If you're around family or if you're around friends that are not supportive, then you're not around your people, right? So my advice to you would be, to fellow women or anyone else listening to this, it doesn't necessarily have to be gender specific, is to find your people. Right? Find people that share the same ideas and common goals with you. So that way you can feed off them and they can feed off you, right? They pour into you and you can pour into them. You need a support system, because there are days when I feel like I'm tired and I don't want to work on visuEats today. But then my brother or my mom or my friends, they can say, hey, how is visuEats? And because they hold me accountable, I have to ensure that I have some updates to give them, right? So it's important for you to have a support system, because you're not going to feel like doing it every day. Sometimes, whether it's because emotionally you don't feel it or physically you just can't, but the fact that you have a support system, you have people cheering for you, you have people wanting you to succeed, that helps to hold you accountable. Yeah, so I would say find a support system.
Excellent advice.
Thank you.
Sophronia, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to share your story with the Women's Net community, and congratulations again on being the winner of our November Amber Grant.
Thank you so much for selecting me. It feels so surreal. I literally have never won anything, and I have tried competing a lot of times in different competitions, but to be selected and at a moment where I really, really, really needed it, words can't express or explain how grateful I am for Women's Net and the Amber Grant Foundation. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.